In this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know in order to get that coveted first place spot in Super Mario 35. If you're watching this video in May of 2021, then only you will know what we currently don't, and that is whether or not Mario 35 continued to exist or not, being in time released from our pals at Nintendo. Anyway, enough rambling, let's get to the tips. Number 1. Focus on survival. Let's get priorities straight here. Your object is to collect as many coins as possible while defeating as many enemies as possible in order to max out your time. Every time you kill an enemy, it ends up on 2 different enemy screens. This shouldn't be your main concern though. Focus on surviving and most people will weed themselves out. That being said, never ever be Small Mario if you can avoid it. I know it's tempting to conserve those precious coins, but you can't use any of them if you're dead anyway. Tip number 2. Collect as many coins as fast as possible. In the top left corner you have a box that allows you to spend 20 coins to get a random power-up. This is an integral feature to keep you alive, and having a wealth of coins is a must. Don't get every single coin in a level though. Focus on areas with high concentrations of coins and coin boxes. Do try and jump into coin boxes as you run by though, especially in 1-1. Use those bonuses. Tip number 3. When you are Fire Mario, picking up an additional Fire Flower may seem redundant, but no. Picking a Fire Flower will earn you an extra 15 seconds on the clock. This can help exponentially near the end of the game, especially if you keep getting level 1-1 that has 3 easy to grab flowers. 1-Up mushrooms will net you an extra 20 coins, which is essentially an extra box spin, so don't avoid those either. Tip number 4. Chain those combos and grab that superstar. Hail the almighty turtle shell combo because you can't afford to miss it. You get 1 second for every enemy you hit in the chain by number. So if that's confusing, think of it like this. You hit one enemy, that's 1 second. The second enemy you hit is 2 seconds for a total of 3 seconds gained. The third enemy you hit is 3 seconds for a total of 6 seconds gained. So on and so forth. This can net you a massive amount of time very fast, so make sure you're using those chains. Just watch out for the ricochet. In a similar vein, grab any superstar you can, as chaining star kills will net you 4 seconds per enemy. Also, you're invincible. Tip number 5. Mastering the 1-1 to 1-2 loop. Whenever possible, stay on levels 1-1 and 1-2. These are the safest levels and have the most abundant coins and power-ups to grab. Staying on these 2 is going to make sure you are set up for endgame. Number 6. Mid-game. Eventually you're going to reach a point where you've maxed out your time at 400 seconds and have hopefully over 200 coins. Everything before this was survival, but now it's time to play offense. Pay attention to the pipes at the end of 1-2 as you're making your loop. Once you're comfortable on time and coins, start going into the -4s and taking down some Bowsers. Go into World 3 and bring some Hammer Brothers into the mix. World 5 and get some Bullet Bills. The point is, switching up the enemy types will drastically improve your chances of getting a KO, which will net you 50 coins and some extra time. Tip number 7. 4-1. If you've ever heard the saying that the best thing you can do when you encounter a grizzly bear is pray, well, that might as well be the case for 4-1. Lakitu and his spiny spawn are bad enough by themselves, but when there are 20 of them on the screen, you might as well start praying. Being Super Mario is not enough here. Keep spamming that X button. You definitely need to be Fire Mario or have a superstar. Hopefully you get a star, maybe you'll get a power block. Those at least will clear the enemies on the screen at the current time. But they're going to keep coming. If at all possible, try to stay in 1-1. Take the warp pipe to the end of the level, and then race through 1-2, and repeat. Really, just try to keep away from them as much as possible. Try to be in a loading state as much as possible. On the bright side, if you do survive the onslaught, it should really thin the herd. Tip number 8. Endgame. As you reach the final 5, time is going to speed up. This is the point where the coins you collected are going to make the difference. You don't have the luxury to pick up power-ups anymore. You need to keep bolstering your time. Fire flowers excluded. You got to get those extra 15 seconds. You're going to want to keep your time as close to 400 as possible because eventually the numbers will turn red and start counting down at ludicrous speed. It is at this point where it really comes down to number. The last 2 opponents is a race to see whose clock will run out first. At this point, it's a mad scramble to make sure you aren't the one who gets zeroed out. Bonus round. Killing Bowser will net you 10 seconds. Stomping on a Goomba is 2 seconds to chain them for more. You can jump on the head of squids if they aren't underwater. Grabbing a fire flower while Small Mario will turn you into Fire Mario, unlike the original game. Jumping on top of the flagpole will get you 15 seconds. Super Mario Bros. Is my favorite game of all time, and I really love this evolution of the game. Really hope Nintendo doesn't do away with it in March. Hopefully these tips will help you in your endeavor to reach first place, and thank you for watching.